X-Men Apocalypse is the sixth installment into these two trilogies that we have of X-Men now. Bryan Singer's back at the helm. He's coming out really hot from X-Men, X-Men 2, and X-Men Days of Future Past. So you know what? I was anticipating for this movie, even though if you guys know me so well, I wasn't hyped. But I really wanted to root for the film because, like I said, this franchise has a special connection to my heart. The first movie that came out 16 years ago was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. So I still wanted for this movie to succeed. Even though I saw some mixed reviews for the film, and that kind of got me a little bit disappointed, but I still wanted to go in as optimistic as I could. And you know what, guys? I had a good time with this film. So, in case you guys have been living under a rock, X-Men Apocalypse is part of this franchise of the X-Men First Class people where we got a younger Magneto, younger Xavier, a new Mystique, and we're going through the journey of those characters. And now we're meeting characters that we used to know from the old series, but played by younger actors now, like Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler. And usually in every X-Men movie, you always get Magneto and another villain that you have to go through. Like the villain, the secondary villain is the person they have to get through, and then Magneto becomes the overall villain of that film. This one is a little bit more different. Now it's everybody uniting. Every mutant's facing every mutant, or every mutant needs to unite for a bigger threat that has been unleashed on this earth, played by Oscar Isaac, and it's Apocalypse. And now we get to see, can they, overthrow him? What did they need to do in case, to stop them to save this planet? And guys, like I said, I had a fun time with this movie. I don't know if it was just like how I had lowered my expectations or anything, but I was pleasantly surprised throughout the whole film from the majority. I'm going to start off with what works best in this film. And it's, as always, since First Class, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. Their Xavier, their Magneto, their relationship, their past, their storylines they have, are like the most grounded, the ones you can relate to. Maybe it helps because, just like Disney and the MCU, we have built up with two amazing films with these characters. So now in this one, we know who they are. We kind of get their references from the past, and they really want to do what, they want to do. And whether you like it or not, you can understand their motives. And really, their part works so much. And they're the best of this film. It's great seeing other characters back, Nicholas Hoult as Beast. He's, becoming this role now for these 3 films now. I love how, he has finally grown into becoming the Beast. He can kind of control him like a Hulk aspect type of way. The newer characters, I'm still used to, Famke Jensen and James Marsden and even Alan Cumming, but these new characters that they got now for Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler, I could see that potential. I could see myself seeing future movies from them. I can see this is a great start. Let's see where they're going to take us now. I hear that X-Men 4 might be in the 90s, so, we'll see how that goes. Mystique, she's a question. Jennifer Lawrence has said that she's not interested in these films that much anymore, and I wasn't sure if her character had to be uninteresting in this film, or was her mailing it in. I was very mixed. Sometimes I liked her character, other times I wasn't so sure. So she was a character I was really in the middle with. The one that I'm loving now, every time I see one of these, it's an event now, I want to see what he does, is Quicksilver. My goodness. Quicksilver had an amazing scene in Days of Future Past, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but he might have had something that could rival it in this movie. And Quicksilver, he's just becoming like the Hulk for this X-Men franchise. I want to see what he does next, and he is just so fun to watch. The actor that plays him, Evan Peters, looks like he's having a fantastic time. Quicksilver is another standout for me of this film that I love so much, and he's a character that I knew a little bit in Days of Future Past. I love seeing him here again, and I can't wait to see more of him in the future as well. Now the thing I really wanted to know, to see if it would work, and I was hyped for the actor, was Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse. I wanted to see if it worked. And guys, I wasn't sure if he is the best villain. He's not something like the Dark Knight's Joker, but he's not something as bland, generic as Malekith from Thor: The Dark World. He's right in the middle. I don't know if it was because I knew Oscar Isaac was behind all that makeup, or I just love how he embraced the role that he was gonna play. Like, he's just this cliched supervillain who just wants to take over the world. But I don't know if it, it probably worked for this film. Like, I know that that's somehow how the character is in the comics, so it wasn't a really complete flaw. I kind of enjoyed seeing him, so I think it worked for this. It was fresh take though, because we've always had like Magneto and some other character, like I said, be the villains. It's great to see now a greater villain that can take on everybody, and even though he has help, he doesn't need anybody because he is that powerful. And I feel like we haven't seen villains like this, especially for me. I haven't seen villains like this in a while, and I kind of wanted to see one like this just to, remind myself of these type of villains. And I don't know, I just had a little bit of fun with Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse. Bryan Singer has been amazing with his X-Men movies. He has hit home runs one after the other after the other. He, for himself, has his own complete trilogy now. So now he's on the fourth one. I wouldn't say this one is a home run, but it really got him to first base, second base, third base, back to the end. So it completed everything, but it had bumpy roads on the way. So it wasn't a perfect movie. It's probably my least favorite of his, but it's not terrible. It's not Fantastic Four bad, or even X-Men The Last Stand, that's for sure. Sometimes stuff gets repetitive, especially the third act with the action sequence. I kind of liked it. I feel like it needed to be like that, but you didn't have to make it maybe that long, or just get to the point. There were some things that did feel a little bit repetitive. Sometimes you didn't need necessary stuff, whether it was a dialogue or something between a character. There was just some things that I can't see why this is not a perfect film, but it wasn't complete dog shit. It's just, yeah, there were things that maybe we could have tweaked better, because the storyline that went through these three movies was there. I like that, but there were other things like that we needed to cut back, and I feel like this was a grand stage that usually for these X movies have never been here, and it was just something different. And I kind of miss the old ways of how they were, just even not looking back at the old trilogy, but just this trilogy, how First Class and Days of Future Past were built. And I felt like this one wanted to do more. Sometimes I would forget we had characters to go, look at and see how they're doing. And I think they wanted to cram so much in this one. So even though I didn't hate the movie, I think it's my least favorite of the three. I think Days of Future Past is still superior. But I'm going to have to give my grading for X-Men Apocalypse a B-. That's what I think. It's not a perfect film. There are great elements, and there are some good elements. There's some things I feel like we didn't need in there. And overall, I'm curious to see how the future installments of X-Men are going to go. Let me know, guys, what you thought of X-Men Apocalypse. Did you guys love it or hate it? It's a very controversial film. I'd like to hear your thoughts. See why you liked it so much or you hated it. And as always, Roland Empire. Until 2,007,008 subscribers, always laugh, smile, repeat.